Want to join the discussion about the new ancient element and potential changes to your team? Join our Discord server where you can chat in real time to other DML players. Very cool. I'm in love. I'm actually in love with this dragon. I don't know what it is. He looks so stupid. I love it so much. So this is Sagittarius. People have been asking for image files of this guy for a while now. They finally got released today along with the new ancient element info. But man, Sagittarius is a cool looking dragon. This is by far my favorite Zodiac dragon of the month so far. So, Sagittarius is a legendary void and fire dragon. As you can see, we got his little baby form, his cool adult form, and his egg looks like some kind of weird techie, I don't even know, some weird thing anyway. And the elements that you're gonna need to use to breed Sagittarius are gonna be fire, metal, water, and wind elements. And let's not forget, base stats are going to be 77 base attack, 240 base health, which compared to ancient dragons is going to suck major baloney, but I think he's really cool. And plus we're going to need him for the Zodiac collection, so he's worth going for. So, as usual, Idwine has posted this image and has posted some of the best possible combinations that you can use. I will be doing a breeding guide on this guy when he comes out officially, so we'll go through all of these combinations and pick out the ones with the lowest misbreed times and things like that, and I'll put them all in one video. But for now, if you just want to see all of the possible combos, the first one we've got here is Fire plus Regal, and obviously if you don't have the Regal Dragon, you can also use the Steampunk Box or Arctic Dragons because they've got the exact same elements, and breed that with a Fire Dragon. It'll work just the same, and that gives, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different possible outcomes, with the max being a 12-hour breeding time, which is still a relatively difficult breed because we've had breeds before where there's only been like 4 outcomes. There's quite a few here, but that is seemingly the best combination from what I can see. But taking a look at some of the others, we've also got Wind plus Torpedo, which seems like a pretty good combo too. So you've got that one, Water plus Bludgeon or Cowpoke, because now we have another dragon that has the same elements as Bludgeon. So you got that combo. Metal plus Agnes, or if you don't have Agnes, Imperial, Ginger, Leviathan, or Mask. And then we've got Cloud plus War Dragons, or if you've got any of the uncommon versions, or Ice plus War Dragons is what I should say, because Cloud is the uncommon version. Sometimes I forget about these old dragons, but you got that one. So if you don't have any of the epics or the rares to use, just use Ice plus War, that's a good one. Or another one is going to be Boiling plus Tornado. And you can look through all of the different possible outcomes of those, but the further down on this list we go, the longer and longer these breeding times tend to get. So overall, I'm excited. I really want to get hold of this guy. I'd get 10 of him if I possibly could. I really, really want him, but hopefully that should be more or less everything that you need to know about the combinations themselves. But remember, when you're breeding legendary dragons, it's a good idea to level up your breeding dragons, so usually recommend about level 15 minimum to go with legendaries because it reduces the chances of you getting commons and things like that. But it does increase the chances of you getting rares and epics, so keep that in mind. But let's not beat around the bush. With the news of the new ancient element, you know, we've got all of these Zodiac dragons, we've got the Divine Zodiac Dragon coming at the finish of the Zodiac collection, but it's going to be worse than the ancient dragons that are coming out. So the only purpose of completing this Divine collection is for a Divine Dragon that's going to be relatively underwhelming. So is it really worth it? Do I even really care about trying to breed for the missing Dragon of the Month that we missed out on before? I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be tough to get the new Ancient Dragons because they're gonna be part of, you know, pretty major events probably. But the Ancient Dragons are going to completely change the way that we handle DML. So this is why I said to you, save up your food, save up all of your trinkets, don't spend them, because it's not just one dragon that you're going to want to replace your main team with. You're going to want a full team of ancient dragons. That is assuming that their element base stats are as high as it would make sense for them to be. Because right now we don't have confirmation that the base stats are going to, I guess, grow at the rate that we expect. But as soon as we do get confirmation that that is the case, then Ancient is going to be stupidly, disgustingly OP. And let's not forget that, you know, we've got Haunted Heroes here, which is the castle event that we're currently trying to get through. We're probably going to have special events in the future where maybe the main element is going to be the ancient element, in which case you're probably going to want to get your hands on, at the very least, one ancient dragon in case it's used in future events. That's besides the fact that it's disgustingly overpowered from the sounds of it, because, again, the problem with Legendary and Divine, or I guess it was a positive back then, because Legendary has always been a pretty underwhelming level 6 upgrade, which is why the Dragons of the Month for like the last couple of years have been pretty bad, all things considered. Because it used to be that you'd get a new Dragon of the Month and then you could throw them on your main team, but now they're not actually good enough, or I wouldn't say that they're worth the investment considering how many better dragons there are. So at this point, I would highly suggest that you start to contemplate changing your team. Now, if you know that you're going to be busy during the Ancient event period, you still might be able to get a couple of dragons. We're probably going to get loot box dragons again, if, you know, it follows the same trend as before. So maybe it'll come down mostly to luck, but maybe it won't. We'll have to see. Speaking of luck, that's pretty good getting that on our third chest. So I'll take a purple chest, and you see these purple chests here, they're probably going to be massive for getting the materials that we need for the new element. But we can't get them yet, of course. We can only get the materials for the new element when the new element actually comes out. It makes sense, right? So for now, we're going to wait for the new event news and so forth, because we're getting that on Tuesday of this week. And then we'll finally get to see what it's all about. Because this new event is nothing like we've seen before. It's just like kind of how the Zodiac Dragons was a new thing that they'd never done before. Because before the Dragons of the Month, it was just sort of like random new dragons that they'd throw in that kind of fit the theme of that time frame. But then we finally got a sort of themed Dragon of the Month thing going on with the Zodiacs, which was actually a really cool thing that they implemented. To be honest, I kind of wanted to see something like that 3.5 years before when they started implementing it, because, you know, having these cool like themed events and things like that I think is something that a lot of players used to like, and let's be honest, a majority of the people that played DML on release have never touched the game again. It's the same with most games, but especially with a game like DML, the players drop off really quick. But I think if they had more of these sort of seasonal, monthly things going on, people wouldn't get quite as confused as to, you know, what is a Dragon of the Month. Because it might surprise some of you older folks, like older players out there. You don't necessarily have to be old to play DML. But I actually get quite a lot of questions from people saying like, hey, when's the Lantern Dragon coming out? Or, you know, when's the Autumn Dragon coming out again? I know they're a Dragon of the Month, but when are they coming back? And a lot of those dragons have not been re-released for a long time in breeding. I need to sneeze again. Oh my god. Oh, that felt like a good sneeze though. Oh. You know when you just have a sneeze and it feels so good to get it out? That's the feeling I just got. Oh, it feels beautiful, dude. But, like I said, I would have appreciated the themed stuff beforehand, but at least it makes more sense now, right? At least now people sort of understand the gist that we've got, you know, a Zodiac theme going, so they can sort of expect what the next Dragon of the Month's gonna be, whereas in the past it was always, what's the next random Dragon of the Month gonna be? And you could never really tell. And on top of everything else, we do also have New Dungeon Week, which I don't think there's really anything exciting in here. In fact, there's absolutely nothing at all that I want to buy. What the heck? This was an awful Dungeon Week. Well, either way, we should be using this to get some extra points. But, of course, Divine in the dungeon is... it's been pretty good. Because when you can buff your allied dragons, it means that you don't have to face super high level dragons in that as fast. So, how good will Ancient be in the map, and how good will Ancient be in the dungeon? Because now in DML, things have sort of changed, because Plant used to be the... well, Plant and Shadow and Divine used to be like the best elements of them all for destroying on the map. But now that we've got Ancient, we're going to have to try it out, see how it goes, and see how it feels with everything else. But is Ancient going to be OP in the map? Is Ancient going to be OP in the dungeon? I can see it potentially being OP in the dungeon, because one of the level 6 upgrades for Ancient is the ability to put all of your negative effects on the opponent. So, that dragon there that had super bad negative effects on it, he could, if he was Ancient, he could use that on an enemy, for example, and then that enemy would have all of those negative effects thrown onto it, which would be pretty disgusting, because then the dragon that you'd attack would basically get destroyed. The only thing is, with that, it's kind of making me think about the Void element. If you remember, one of the Void upgrades is to remove the effect on you, or I guess steal the effect from the opponent is the better way to phrase it. So, it might be kind of niche, but we'll have to play around with it first and see how it works out. We really do need to see what it's like in practice before we make any bold assumptions. Because we did that in the past, and we weren't completely accurate. Most of the time when we make our guesstimates, we're not too far off from the truth, but considering we don't even know the base stat of the Ancient element yet, I would rather wait and see. But Gameloft did say they don't want to give us the base stats quite yet. I am puzzled as to that decision, unless it's to hide the fact that it is blatantly overpowered. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it truly is for the sake of not spoiling it, but I'm not sure if I believe that. But we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be a weird time in DML, because we're going to have a full month worth of events. It's like, we're going to get this Halloween event, and then we're going to get thrown straight into lots of other events. New events at that. New dragons that are going to completely decimate everyone. It's going to get to the point where you're going to face that dragon in the arena, and you're not going to win without Dragon Fury anymore. It was almost at a point like that before, where for the people that instantly bought Freya and those dragons, they got such a distinct advantage, like, immediately. For the people that didn't have the resources to upgrade their dragons yet, whether that be in food or enchantment materials. And now there's going to be people again that are going to invest lots and lots of money if they have to get these new Ancient dragons. They're going to instantly level them up, they're going to instantly enchantment upgrade them, even if it costs them way too much money in terms of gems to buy the enchantment chests for them. That's assuming you can get them out of enchantment chests, which you should be able to from what they've said. But if you were here for the transition of Legendary into the Divine element, it was chaos. And it is going to be chaos again. There is no way to avoid it at this point. The power creep in DML clearly is not going to stop. So these Legendary Dragons of the Month that we're being given aren't actually very good. Like, people ask me about dragons like the Titan dragon and narwhal dragons, and at one stage, those dragons used to be the cream of the crop, and you could get those for free as a, like, relatively lowish, maybe mid-level player just by breeding. Those dragons aren't very good anymore, because there are just better, upgraded versions of them in Divine, and then there's even better, further upgraded versions of them in Ancient that are bound to be coming out. So, if you had a team pre-planned, scrap the idea and wait until we get some more info on the new dragons, because you don't want to upgrade stuff and then find out that there is a direct upgrade of your dragon coming out within the next couple of weeks. It would be a really stupid idea to do that. But I'm still excited, even though it's going to be absolutely hectic and all of my dragons are going to be useless. I'm still excited because brand new overpowered dragons are going to change everything quite a lot. So, you know, DML starts to sort of stagnate, or it's like, oh, new Divine, new Exception Divine. It's like, who cares? But then it's like, hey, what about an Ancient Divine? It's like, that's pretty cool, but that's also a bit overpowered. I'm not sure how much I actually like that, but, you know, cool idea. So, man, I really wish that Sagittarius and some of the other dragons of the month could actually be a little bit more useful. Maybe for the next 6 months we'll only get dragons, like dragons of the month, that are exception dragons. Like super exception legendaries. Even if you did that, they'd still only barely be on evenish footing with the new element, but then they don't resist stuff. So then what do you do? Oh, I don't know, dude. Because you gotta remember the new element resists things. And it's strong against some of the best elements in the game. Man, it's tough. I guess it makes sense because these ancient dragons are the air quotes beginning of dragons. That's what proto means, but it's a pain. It is definitely a big old pain in the butt. But anyway, I guess for now we'll continue on with Haunted Heroes. So again, if you're moaning at me about being behind, remember I'm only interested in finishing or finding the key in level 6. I don't care about going back and getting all the pieces for the eyeball because I already have him, so I am perfectly on pace to get Mr. Rosewing Dragon for now. We'll see how that keeps going throughout the rest of the week. But I still wish you the very best of luck with your keys. I hope that if you don't have the crone already, then you can get her for free in the dungeon out of a cool chesty. And in the meantime, I don't know. I'm spooked about the ancient element, so hope and pray that the new replacement dragons aren't going to be too blatantly OP, but from the looks of it, they are. Poor little Hermes, poor little Autumn, and poor little Saini. Like, if we were to get Oya, Saini's gone. Saini, I'm sorry. You're gone. You're not good enough anymore. You're a legendary, and you already have the fire element. It's not good enough. It's going to be rare to have legendary on a team anymore going into the future. Just think about that. Dragon Mania Legends, more like Dragon Mania Ancient. Oh, I'm so funny, aren't I? Anyway, I appreciate you joining me and listening to me ramble and rave all the time. Love you. And until next time, I'll see you then.